something just happened in artificial intelligence that the mainstream media is completely sleeping on. NVIDIA just announced AI factories, not data centers, not servers, factories. And when Jensen Huang walked on stage at GTC this week, he revealed why every major company on Earth is about to compete for the same finite resource. Let me break down exactly what this means for your money, your career, and the future you're about to step into. We're living through the most critical 72 hours in artificial intelligence history, and most people have absolutely no idea. Here's what went down. NVIDIA held its global training conference, GTC 2026, this week. Jensen Huang delivered the opening keynote and outlined what he's calling a fundamental shift in how AI will be built and deployed. He didn't just announce new GPUs, he announced an entirely new economic model. NVIDIA is positioning their H300 GPUs and the Vera Rubin platform as the backbone of what they're calling AI factories. These aren't facilities where humans work. These are facilities where artificial intelligence creates artificial intelligence, where compute generates compute, where energy transforms into intelligence at scale. At the exact same time, we saw the largest wave of AI model releases in history. Gemini 3.1 Pro from Google just scored 77.1% on ARC AGI-2, which is a pure logic test that models cannot memorize their way through. That's more than double what Gemini 3 Pro achieved just months ago. OpenAI released GPT 5.3, codenamed Garlic, which isn't just bigger, it's smarter per byte. They're achieving 6 times more knowledge density compared to previous scaling approaches. The model comes with a 400,000 token context window with something called perfect recall. That means it won't lose information hidden in the middle of a massive conversation. It can output 128,000 tokens at a time, which means you can process entire code bases, complete books, or massive data sets in a single API call. DeepSeek in China launched V4 with 1 trillion parameters and introduced 4 brand new technical innovations. Their Model 1 architecture cuts memory requirements by 40%. They achieved inference speedups of 1.8 times through sparse FP8 decoding. And Claude Opus 4.6 just hit 1 million token context in beta. Think about what that means. Your entire code base, your company's complete knowledge base, your entire customer conversation history, all processable in a single conversation with an AI model. This isn't incremental progress. This is the moment when context stopped being a bottleneck and became a competitive advantage. Now, why does this matter? Because we just crossed a threshold. For years, the limitation was model size. How many parameters? How big is the neural network? That's over. The new frontier is context. What can a model hold in its working memory? What can it process simultaneously? A model with 1 million tokens of context doesn't just give you 10 times more information. It gives you the ability to reason about that information in entirely new ways. It can find patterns across massive datasets. It can understand your entire business in one conversation. It can write code based on your entire technical architecture without asking 1,000 follow-up questions. From a technical standpoint, here's what changed. Earlier, AI models were like people with perfect memory but horrible attention spans. They could memorize facts, but if you had a 100-page document, they'd forget everything from page 10 by the time they reached page 90. The new generation of models are different. They maintain context, they understand relationships across massive information sets. Gemini 3.1 Pro's jump from 37% to 77% on pure logic tests shows us that reasoning capability just doubled. These aren't models that regurgitate training data. These are models that think. And NVIDIA's AI factory concept is directly tied to this. Jensen Huang understands that the next phase of AI isn't about building bigger models. It's about building smarter infrastructure that can create models continuously. AI factories are facilities designed to run 24/7, consuming massive amounts of power, generating massive amounts of compute, producing new AI models and inference services on demand. The Vera Rubin platform with H300 GPUs is engineered for trillion parameter models. Production starts later this year. But here's where it gets interesting for your wallet. This creates a massive supply-demand mismatch in the artificial intelligence market. The demand for compute just exploded. Every major company wants to build proprietary AI models. Every enterprise wants local AI. Microsoft launched Copilot Cowork. Google upgraded Gemini for Workspace. Meta acquired Moltbook to build AI agent infrastructure. Nobody wants to depend on OpenAI or Google or Anthropic anymore. They all want their own models, which means they all need compute. Lots of it. NVIDIA controls the supply. The H300 GPUs are not widely available. Production is constrained. Lead times are measured in quarters, not weeks. This is the most profitable position any company can be in during a technology boom. Limited supply, unlimited demand, and zero realistic competitors in the data center GPU space. NVIDIA's revenue is going to accelerate even more aggressively. OpenAI just raised $110 billion specifically to scale compute. That's not capital for software development. That's capital to buy NVIDIA GPUs and Amazon infrastructure. Google is building its own AI infrastructure. Meta is planning massive layoffs while simultaneously expanding its compute deals with providers like Nebius. There's a war happening right now, a war for access to semiconductors, and NVIDIA has the only weapons that matter. From an investment perspective, this changes everything. Semiconductor stocks become the core holding: NVIDIA, AMD, TSMC. The companies that manufacture the equipment used to build semiconductors become critical. We are already seeing this. Samsung announced it plans to double Gemini AI-equipped devices to 800 million units by the end of 2026. Apple confirmed a reimagined Siri powered by Google's 1.2 trillion parameter Gemini model. The smartphone market just became an AI market, and that means the competition for powerful chips intensified dramatically. But there's also a wealth creation opportunity that most people are missing. We're entering the phase where AI becomes genuinely useful for specific tasks. Not just chatbots, but actual business applications. MIT researchers just developed an AI model that streamlines protein-based drug design. This could save pharmaceutical companies billions of dollars and accelerate treatments for cancer and rare genetic disorders. Hyundai detailed its AI plus robotics roadmap. They're integrating large language models into mobile robots for actual logistics and personal assistance work. These are real products solving real problems. The companies that build the applications layer on top of this compute infrastructure are going to create massive valuations. Basis AI just reached unicorn status at $1.15 billion in valuation with a $100 million Series B for an agentic accounting platform. Zest AI launched CU Lending Collective, providing enterprise-grade AI lending tools to credit unions. The application layer is moving insanely fast. These are the companies that will actually generate revenue and profit from the compute infrastructure boom. Now, how does this actually affect you? If you're working in software development, artificial intelligence just became your business partner. Context windows expanding to 1 million tokens means you can now give an AI your entire codebase and ask it to architect new systems, find bugs, suggest refactors, and generate production-ready code. Freelance developers are about to become exponentially more productive. A solo developer armed with Gemini 3.1 Pro or GPT 5.3 can now accomplish what previously required a team of 3 or 4 people. That's either terrifying for job security or incredibly exciting if you embrace it. Most likely, it's both. If you're in customer service or operations, AI agents are about to replace a significant portion of routine work. Microsoft's Copilot Cowork can read files, analyze data, and execute tasks on your behalf. NVIDIA is launching NemoClaw, an open-source platform for building AI agents. These aren't theoretical concepts anymore. They're shipping this month, which means your job is about to change whether you're prepared or not. But it also means you can automate away your own repetitive work and focus on higher value tasks. If you're an entrepreneur or freelancer, here's the real opportunity. We just entered the phase where AI tools became powerful enough to replace entire categories of work. Content creation, data analysis, customer support, basic coding. The barrier to entry for starting a business just collapsed. One person can now build and operate a business that previously required 5 people. You don't need to raise capital, you don't need a team. You need clarity about what problem you're solving and the ability to leverage AI tools to solve it at scale. The next wave of million-dollar businesses will be single-person operations using AI to generate revenue. In the healthcare space, this matters immediately. The MIT protein-based drug design model is going to accelerate the discovery of new treatments. Drug trials that previously took 5 years and cost billions could be compressed. Cancer research, autoimmune disease research, rare genetic disorder research all just got a massive acceleration. If you have a family member dealing with a serious illness, this announcement just gave them a statistical chance at better treatment options that didn't exist 3 months ago. In education, context windows of 1 million tokens change everything. An AI tutor can now hold your entire educational history, understand your learning style, and customize teaching in real time. Distance learning and personalized education are about to explode. The traditional school model is going to feel increasingly obsolete as AI provides better one-on-one teaching at scale. I'm genuinely curious what your take is on this. Is this the future you're excited about or terrified of? Because honestly, the answer probably matters less than being aware of what's happening. Drop your take in the comments. I read every single one, and the best comments become part of our community conversation. If you're finding this valuable and you're not subscribed yet, hit that button now. It genuinely helps this channel keep bringing you these updates for free, and it means you won't miss the follow-up videos, where we break down exactly how to profit from what's happening. Here's where this heads in the next 12 months. Prediction 1. Context windows become the primary competitive metric in artificial intelligence, not parameter count. Models are going to stabilize in size. The race becomes who can maintain context most efficiently. Who can give you 1,000,000 tokens in your conversation window? Who can do it cheaply? Who can do it fast? That drives investment and feature development. Prediction 2. AI factories become a critical infrastructure asset, similar to how data centers are today. Governments start regulating access to compute. International trade disputes emerge over semiconductor supply chains. The companies that control manufacturing capacity control the world. This isn't hyperbole. This is how technology revolutions actually play out. Prediction 3. The productivity gains from these models start showing up in earnings reports. And we see a wave of layoffs throughout white-collar industries. Not because companies are evil, but because they can accomplish the same output with fewer people. Simultaneously, new job categories emerge that didn't exist 2 years ago. AI prompt engineer, AI system architect, AI data curator. The job market transforms, not disappears. Here's what you should do right now to stay ahead. First, if you work in a knowledge-based profession, start experimenting with these new models immediately. GPT 5.3, Gemini 3.1 Pro, Claude Opus with 1,000,000 tokens. Spend an hour with each one. Figure out how they think differently. Understand their capabilities and limitations. The people who master these tools will be the most valuable employees and the most successful entrepreneurs. Second, start tracking semiconductor stocks and AI infrastructure plays. NVIDIA, AMD, TSMC. Not as gambling positions, but as long-term wealth building. If I told you in 1995 that the internet was about to take over the world, the smart move wasn't to buy Amazon stock. Amazon didn't exist. The smart move was to buy Cisco because they made the infrastructure that made the internet possible. Same situation today. NVIDIA is the Cisco of AI. Third, if you're an entrepreneur or freelancer, identify one routine task you do that an AI could handle. One piece of work you'd normally outsource or do yourself. Solve it with AI agents or these new models. Build that into a product or service you can offer. The wealth is being created by people who understand how to leverage AI infrastructure to create more value per hour than they ever could before. That's where the money is. That's where it's going to be for the next 5 years. The artificial intelligence revolution isn't coming. It's here. And the people who understand what just happened this week, who understand context windows and AI factories, and the shift in compute economics, those are the people who are going to build the next generation of wealth. Everyone else is going to wake up in 18 months wondering how the game changed so fast. The question isn't whether artificial intelligence will transform the world. The question is whether you're going to be transformed with it or left behind by it. Make your choice now, because the decisions you make in the next 90 days determine which side of that line you're on. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.